Against the Constitution. Here now, Judge Anna Napolitano, a Fox News legal analyst who's been arguing this for a long time. How are you, sir?
I am well, Bill.
Judge Arthur Schwab, Pennsylvania, appointed by President Bush.
This is the United States District Court, so it's a federal judge in Pittsburgh. Had an ordinary routine deportation case before him in which the defendant said, I don't want to be deported now, even though I already pleaded guilty to entering the country illegally, because under the president's new rules, because I fathered a child while I was here, and my child is an American citizen, I can stay. This forced this federal judge to review the constitutionality of the president's new rules, and he ruled in a lengthy, detailed, and well-reasoned opinion that the president cannot rewrite federal immigration law, which is effectively what he did.
The separation of powers.
Correct.
Does his decision hold much weight at the moment?
It depends what happens. If the government appeals it to the Third Circuit Court of Appeals and loses, this opinion will cascade against the president.
All right, I'm going to show you something that's really going to tick you off.
Uh-oh.
The number of executive orders and memos under the current president, 195 screen left, 231 screen right, which is more than we have seen since what, the 1950s?
You know,
the 1940s?
Not all executive orders are bad. Some of them are good. They basically tell departments and agencies how the president wants them to do their job. But the ones in which the president nullifies statutes or rewrites the law or refuses to enforce the law are unconstitutional, and that's what this judge just said. But President Obama doesn't call his executive orders. He calls them memoranda and executive actions. Bill, I am telling you, there's no definition in the law for memoranda and executive actions.
So what we just had up there is the same thing?
Yes. And why is he changing the terminology? Because we in the media have been telling the public how many times he's doing this, and he's trying to obfuscate.
Truman was the last time we saw this many, by the way.
Right.
And I know you got a big problem with that. On Cuba, can he do some sort of executive action / memorandum with regard to U.S. relations with the Cuban government?
Bill, I don't know what he's going to say at noon today, but it would not surprise me if he does. Can he legally do it? Absolutely not. You're talking about a statute written in 1959 by the Congress and signed into existence by President Eisenhower. That can only be changed by the Congress. But this president believes he can rewrite laws. He may very well announce some radical change at noon today. I'm going to be watching with you and everybody else because he has a different view of the presidency than his predecessors.
Congress could challenge that.
If
a court could challenge
Congress
that.
had the political will, yes. If this ends up before a judge, like this Judge Schwab in Pittsburgh, yes.
But you're saying the embargo of 1959 is still law?
Yes, and the president cannot lawfully change that, but that will not stop Barack Obama because he believes he can do things that are outside the Constitution.
I just learned something. Memos and executive orders are the same thing. Who knew? Thank you, Judge.